Hi, my name is Vikram Singh and I'm your OET and communication skills coach. In today's class or video, we are going to talk everything about OET, every tiny detail that you need before you take this exam. So stay latched onto it, stay on this channel, subscribe to it and hit the bell icon so that you can keep getting the notifications of all the upcoming information and videos. OET is Occupational English Test, which is originally designed for healthcare professionals. These days, it is an internationally recognized test and it is specifically assesses your two skills. First, overall English language proficiency, and second, it also assesses your communication skills in clinical setting or clinical environment. So this is particularly very important if you are going to take the OET test. OET test takers can come from three different backgrounds. First, experienced healthcare workers, especially those who come from non-English speaking countries and want to make their career in Anglophone countries. Secondly, international medical graduates, those who have done their primary degrees but want to further their studies in Anglophone countries like Australia, New Zealand, UK, USA, Singapore, even in UAE. UAE has also started considering OET for healthcare professionals. And any student who want to go for degrees and diplomas in these countries can also take OET. So OET has now a huge number of students to cater to. Going ahead, OET is originally designed for 12 healthcare professionals: dentistry, dietetics, medicine, nursing, occupational therapy, optometry, pharmacy, physiotherapy, podiatry, radiography, speech pathology, and veterinary science. I've seen less and less professionals from veterinary science going for OET. So I want to appeal to them that they should go for it. It offers you brilliant career opportunities in these countries. And now the second question comes when a lot of people ask me, I'm not a specialist, can I go for it? So my answer is yes. Whether you are a general practitioner or you are a specialist, you can go for it. Now, like if we talk about dentists, general dentists or specialists. If we talk about nurses, registered nurse, enrolled nurses. If we talk about doctors, general practitioners, specialists. If we talk about veterinary science, veterinary doctors and veterinary nurses, both can go for it. Additionally, clinical pharmacists and retail pharmacists can also take OET and make their career in these countries. Secondly, if we go for allied professions like physiotherapy, radiography, occupational therapy, and dietetics, as we mentioned earlier, can apply for this test. Other healthcare roles, which are not very common in our country, still there are professionals um, uh, who have these kind of expertise, like speech therapists, podiatrists, optometrists can apply for this test. Now, how we can take OET? OET offers three options: OET on paper, OET on computer, and OET at home. So popularly, we call them online tests, offline tests, and test at home on Zoom. So OET on paper can be taken on the designated test centers. The same goes for computers. OET at home, obviously you take it from home, but there is a catch here. If you do not have a very sound system, you must avoid it, because if something goes wrong here, you have to bear the brunt. So it is advisable for you to go for OET on paper or computer. And as far as results are concerned, earlier it used to take 17 days in the case of paper, and in case of computer home it used to take 10 days. But these days you can get, even on if you take OET on paper, as soon as in 5 days. So you can get your test results very soon these days, no problem with that. Now, going ahead with that, how you can register and what is the fee? OET has, very transparent and very um, easy to do registration process. You straightway you can visit to www.oet.org and you start filling the form. But mind you, here is a catch. You must have a valid passport. If you do not have applied for a passport, go and apply and get it done as soon as possible. Because the OET score is always, and OET registration number is always attached to your passport number. So OET can be booked online and by visiting the site. When you fill the form, if something goes wrong, OET website always flags you. Look, here is something wrong. You must fill these details before you go ahead. Now, if you talk about OET fee, it ranges between $340 and $587, especially US I'm talking about. So in Indian rupee, it goes somewhere around say 35,000 rupees or less than that. You can reschedule your exam, you can cancel your exam, but you can do it in a very in stipulated time period. If you jump the deadline, then you are liable to pay certain amount of fee to OET. Now, OET test centers and location. OET exam is offered in 40 countries, and it is available in all the major metropolitan cities across the world. You can schedule your exam as it is available throughout the year. Dates are available throughout the year, so there is no dearth of dates as far as OET is concerned. And once you register online, you get your test, admit card, and you can go on particular date and take your test. OET result, as I told you, you can get as soon as in 5 days. You get a scorecard where every subtest is clearly mentioned and your score is mentioned. So it is quite transparent process. You need to score minimum 350 out of 500. But as far as writing is concerned, you can score somewhere between 300 and 340. That would also suffice the criteria. This result is valid for 2 years, and you can verify your results. You can fill reassessment form, but again, that is liable to some fee that you must pay. Now let's talk about the test. OET test has 4 parts: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Talking about time, if you visit or Google it, it tells you this is 2 hours 45 minutes. But to be precise, it is 2 hours 50 minutes. Because, listening takes 45 minutes, reading takes 60 minutes, writing again take 45 minutes, and speaking is for 20 minutes. Going for test details, in listening you have 3 tasks, in reading you have 3 tasks, in writing you have only 1 task, where you have to write a letter, and in speaking again you have 2 role plays or 2 tasks. And if you talk about listening and reading, they are common to all 12 professions. So whether you are a doctor or a nurse or a physiotherapist or a dietitian, you have to score at least 350 in these 2 parts. These 2 parts are quite difficult for those who come from vernacular background or English is not their first language. So here we become quite instrumental in your success. So these 2 parts are common to all 12 professions. These 2 are profession specific. So these tasks are categorically have different kind of approach for each profession. Now let's talk about the tiny details. And if I say, there is a famous saying, the devil lies in the details. So listening has 3 parts: part A, part B, and part C. In part A, you have one extract, means one clip of up to 5 minutes, and you are asked 24 questions in this part. And you have to reply in a word or you have to write a phrase. So this is a wonderful opportunity to reach to closer to your goal. Then you have part B, where you have 6 small extracts, and this test also lasts up to 5 minutes. Means each extract would last, say, somewhere around 40 minutes, 35 seconds to 1 minute. And you have multiple choice questions in it. So each extract have one question attached to it, and you have to choose the right answer out of 3 options, and you have to mark it in your OMR sheet. Part C, you have 2 extracts, and each lasts up to 5 minutes, and you have 6 questions from each extract, means in total you have 12 questions. You will be given 3 options in these questions, and you have to mark the right one in the OMR sheet. Same way, you have 3 parts in reading. So in reading, you have part A, which lasts for 15 minutes. And in this part, you have 4 short texts. These texts are generally related to a disease, a medical procedure, or a particular medical condition and its management. And you are asked 20 questions based on it. And again, these are word and phrase type, means you have to write either a phrase or a word. So it's quite easy. Again, a wonderful opportunity in these 20 questions to score good marks. But here again, you have to mind your spellings. Then you have part B. Part B has 6 small extracts, and these small extracts would have 1 question each, and you will have 3 options in them. So you have to mark right one in the OMR sheet. Part C again, has 2 large texts, and you are asked 8 questions from each, means in total 16 questions, and in each question you will have 4 options to choose a right answer from. So this is quite challenging, and you have to mark the right one in the OMR. So while talking about a bit about time and type of and the quality of text, I have told you about part A. Part B is often the summary and the conclusive part of a report or a report or an article. Part C comes from a research paper or an article from a very good magazine. So you need wonderful vocabulary to crack these 2 parts. Now, talking about time, this part is specifically for 15 minutes, but these 2 parts are for 45 minutes. And my experience tells me that, in each part you have on an average 700 to 900 words. Here you will have 6 paragraphs, and in part C you will have 2 big passages with 6 to 7 paragraphs. So as far as number of words are concerned, these 3 parts, part B has 6 paragraphs, and part C has 2 paragraphs. Each will have almost 750 words on an average. So you must dedicate at least 15 minutes to this part, and 15 minutes to 2 texts in part C, text 1 and text 2. And this way you can balance out the time management. Before we go ahead, I would like to go back to listening part once more, and I would love to mention one more important detail which crossed my mind. If we talk about the quality of extracts, part A comes from a healthcare professional talking to a patient or a relative of the patient's. Part B comes from a healthcare professional talking to another healthcare professional. Part C comes from a lecture or a talk show of a healthcare professional or an expert. So you have to be really careful here. because they use quite good words while and medical jargons or medical parlance while talking to each other. So these two parts are, you know, you moderate to difficult side on vocabulary. Now you have writing part. Quite easy. You are given 45 minutes and you are given case notes of a patient. So you have to, the challenge here is that you have to pick up the relevant information from the case note and you have to align that particular information with the objective of the letter writing. So you have to write almost 180 to 200 words and you have to write only the body of the letter, as the framework of the letter differs according to each country. So you have to mention only the body part of it. Coming back to your speaking part, you will be given two role plays, card 1 and card 2. Each lasts for 10 minutes and you are given candidate's card. The interlocutor's card always lies with the interlocutor. Though interlocutors, as far as my experience goes, students tell me interlocutors are not that harsh. They just play their role, you play your role. So this one is my favorite part, because you are talking to a human being, so you can be quite comfortable while talking to them. So don't consider them as an examiner, consider them as a patient, and talk to them as if you are talking to the patient or a relative of patients. So that this part is quite easy and fun to do. Now let's talk about test score. As I have told you earlier, you have to have score beyond 350, means above 350, and above 350 you can go up to 500, any score band in this particular criteria. So if we compare with IELTS, B is like, 7, somewhere between 7 and 7.5, and you have to score somewhere between 350 and 440, and band A is equivalent to band 8 and 9 of IELTS. So obviously we prepare for 450 and above, and lucky ones and the hardworking ones land here, and rest of them land here, somewhere here. And going ahead, C plus is also relevant in writing. So most of the organization prefer C plus in writing. But preferable score is always B or A. So we don't plan for it, C plus. Still somehow you land here, you are in a safe zone. We don't talk about C and other parts, D and E. No, because it is wastage of time, money and resources. So how do we prepare? What do we offer you? So we have, range of options. You can go for hybrid model of teaching. If you are local, you are based at Jaipur, you can go for offline classes. And if you are out of the city, you can go for online classes. And you are given a lot of tests, both online and offline test series, and we assess your performance and give you feedback so that you can improve upon your score. And we don't leave our student in lurch. We make sure that our students score. They may take some time, and sometime beyond stipulated time. For example, if I promise you 3 months, and if you take more than 3 months, I'm okay with it. I don't charge you extra for that. I give you ample time and space to improve your performance, because not everybody is that efficient at the language. So we give you ample chances of performance. Now you have your practice tests and online course that I mentioned earlier, and we give you study material. Even if you go for online classes, I send you the study material so that you can have paper, hard copy option also, so that you can study comfortably. And this is our forte, the language tutorial. See, Anglophone countries prefer a specific kind of language where your accent, if not like them, has to be neutral. So my forte is to train you upon voice and accent. and fluency techniques. So if you join me, I focus on this specifically those who come from non-English speaking background, and it is so easy and fun to do. Now, if you have any query or question, you can drop that in comment box and I'll take up those queries and comments and your questions and frequently asked questions in upcoming sessions. So stay with me, and it is enough for the day. Thank you very much. May God bless you all. See you soon.